because they had pre-existing conditions who now finally have the comfort of knowing they have affordable health care.
Been listening this morning to U.S. news media talk about the late rollout of the Obamacare, and I just listened carefully to the words, people, and I tell you what, it's call me crazy or goofy if you want to, but this is how it looks to me. The somaticizing or doping of the American people has been so successful that this absolute total train wreck that's going on right now is just, it's like la-di-da. Anyway, I haven't really been saying much socially lately because it just really appears futile to say anything. So I've been focusing on personal stuff, you know, and personally things are going well. I mean, you know, one of the things that keeps me sane is realizing more and more is that everyone lives in the mind, and yet most people, when they talk and interact, it's as though there's some sort of template of reality that we're all operating from. Like there is actually some sort of standard that someone is watching or monitoring. And I just know this is just in the head. It's not real. It's so liberating to know this, because there's so much about modern life that is absolute rubbish, and I can't take it seriously, even though it's seriously harming my and everyone else's lives. But it's like, I can't listen to politicians. Like, you know, they're just completely full of shit. They're never telling you the truth. We need universal health care in America. Other countries have it. Why can't we have it? Because we have greedy sons of bitches. So, record collecting and record collectors were represented in Omaha yesterday in the newspaper. About a month ago, rather in October, I went to, we have 2 record shows a year in Omaha, and I went to the one in October. And the local paper had set up a photo shoot area where they wanted to take pictures of and interview record collectors who were coming to the record fair. And yours truly made the article, and here's the paper. In the living section, there I am holding my records, and then it's also it's well written, it's positive, it's a very good article, and it's online. I can put up a link to the article if you'd like to see it. My show, my show Saturday night with Hotlines is online, so you can watch it. I'll put a link to that. I'm not embarrassed at all. We completely make it up as we go, and about a third in, it starts to happen. Really excited by the band. It's good. It really is. I have not played any records since I spoke yesterday. I've just been really busy. Indrima has a show this week with Cursive. We're opening for Cursive down at the Slowdown. We're excited about that. The show is being recorded. Cursive is recording all their shows at the waiting room. They're doing a series looking to make a live album. Most likely our set will be recorded as well. So we rehearsed yesterday, we're rehearsing today and tomorrow, trying to whip it back into shape. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to talk for a few minutes because I really don't have any records to show, and I appreciate that you know, many of you folks are just with me. You know, it's kind of like spending a few minutes together. You know, one of the things that I find myself struggling with when you see me in the videos doing this is like, there's this ongoing narrative in my mind where it's like, I wish to explain to whoever wants to hear why I am the way I am. And I I know I'm not the only person that wants to tell their story, or wants to really be understood. So that's why I kind of wrestle with it, and why I do at different times try to talk about my story, because it's important to me. And I already know that people telling their stories can be helpful. They can be. They really can be. And I want to share that, I know that to a degree, by being almost fiercely anti-commercial or anti-mainstream, that I used the term yesterday, I may have painted myself into a corner. But I'm really not regretting that. There's just so much of mainstream accepted culture that really, 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 really seems really, really idiotic. And I'm going to name some names, like the other night, I watched a little bit of the Lady Gaga with the Muppet special. And regardless of the fact that it's for kids, it was just really kind of horrendous to watch. It was like, probably entertainment's always been like this, since television and stuff has been around. But at my age, it's just so blatant how everything is so completely unreal and I'm searching for words. It's a put on, and it's not even a healthy, positive put on. Some jingoistic phrases and words are used in the media and mainstream culture, but it's meaningless, because I keep observing that the bottom line with what I'm unhappy with is the idea of just making sure that people can continue to consume, as opposed to actually being concerned about correcting anything going on. Just never escapes my thoughts. And so it also has a lot to do with why I am still not really that interested in reflecting hip-hop culture as a black person, because, how do I put this? I love my humanity, all of it, including my most direct ancestry. And that has nothing to do with, that's the point I want to make, is it has nothing to do with whether or not I represent by playing my people's music. I think all of that is absolute crap for me personally. There are enough people on this planet that you'll hopefully always have people who carry on traditions and uphold history. I don't feel like that's what I have to do all the time. In certain ways I do. So I don't feel like I have to sound a certain way or say certain things to be legit, authentic, whatever. I think that's just a complete pile of shit crap. I've said it in videos before, but I have always found it completely insane and hypocritical how black music over the decades has been embraced as, well, you guys that aren't black that are getting into this, it's like you're really getting into the real deal, and this is a real special deal. And it is, but when I did the opposite, which is, wow, this music from England, I really identify with this. Wow, this music from Ireland, this music from Germany, wow, this resonates with me. And then when I would go to celebrate that, I was beat up. I was called an Uncle Tom. I had our house egged because I like the Beatles, because we like the Beatles. I don't know if that was exactly why, but that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? So all these things go into have a lot to do with my outlook, and why I'm just not going to have anybody telling me personally what I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to think, what I'm supposed to like, and whether or not my opinions, attitudes are right or wrong. Fuck that, man. I'm coming from my experience, which has been very strange. Very strange, you know. I was at the Hotlines gigs. I'm just going to riff for a minute. At the Hotlines gig in Lincoln, Saturday, I was at this new place, Vega, nice place, you know. I was the only black person there. It's not like it was in the 60s, and I was talking to Luke about it, because Luke is white, the leader of the band, but he's like a black guy. He really is. I tell him all the time, Luke, you got white skin, but you're black. And he's 30, so his mindset is, you know, it's like, you know, it's a perspective that's helpful. And he said, I noticed that, Dereck. I know I'm not thinking about it like you are, and I want to tell you that these people aren't thinking about it the way you maybe you think they are, or maybe they did when you were a kid. You know, I can't put it more into words what he was trying to say, but it made sense. You know, that this is not a reflection of what it used to be. It's just the way it's always been. You know, just kind of this natural kind of segregation in a way, maybe, eh? I don't know. I checked out some, I keep checking out, when I have time, bits of new music. And with that said, I see that other members of the vinyl community are releasing music and stuff. Solar System has a new release. I mentioned that Brendan James has a new one, and Jesse. And I have been self-absorbed. I really haven't taken the time to listen to you guys' music in depth yet. I've checked it out yet, but I ain't gonna lie. And I think you understand, being artists, at certain points you're more self-absorbed. You kind of have to be, you know. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I'm pretty absorbed with what I'm doing. So I intend to take the time to give you guys' music a proper, deep listen, so I can, you know, so I can appreciate it like I appreciate records, you know. But this is just one of the inescapable realities, you know, of how things, you know, change, you know, and that's what's going on. But I applaud the creativity. There's lots of contests going on, and I'm just going to pass on them. I see there's a Beatles contest going on by someone. Man, people have some amazing Beatles collections. That's all I got to say. It's like, whoa, you know, man, it's endless what is out there by the Beatles. So lots and lots of women in the vinyl community now, which is fantastic. You know, it's a real community, you know. I love how the veil has been lifted, that record collectors are just, you know, lonely guys, you know, who are miserable. Every type of person on this planet, you could say, is interested in music and likely collects music in some form or another. So we can get rid of that. For me, that stereotype is dead already, and hopefully it will continue to die, you know. Everyone loves music, and collecting is something that can be appreciated by anyone. I love seeing the young people. I love seeing the older folks older than myself, doing the collecting here in Facebook, and also, I mean, here on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And I also really still want to applaud that the majority of comments that I see, that I read, are positive, encouraging, and loving. And it needs to stay, it needs to be that way. We really can be part of the solution. Just for example, yesterday on Facebook, someone had posted a link to a blog that listed what they considered the 100 best prog bands, which of course is subjective. And they wanted, you know, it's one of those things, rate, how many can you guess, you know? And so someone did it, and of course I was interested, so I did it, and I got 92 out of 100. I do know 92 of those bands. Most people were getting around 30, 20, 30. But then someone who is friends with someone I'm a friend with on Facebook puts it's negative. He says, I only got 18, thank goodness. And, you know, I'm not going to respond to that online. I'm going to say something about it now, which is, such comments only reveal the heart and soul of the individual that wrote it. It's no skin off my neck, my back, because when you write it, you're showing your ass. I'll say it out front, you know. I'm not trying to intimidate or aggravate anyone. I'm just calling a spade, you know. When you do this to someone, well, that's what you did, and that's what that was, you know. And it's like, it's unloving, it's unhelpful, and it says a lot about that person, not me. And the thing I'll be thinking is, now, what on earth possessed them to do that? What do they think they're accomplishing? Do they think that I'm so stupid that I'm going to childishly react to this, when it's really obvious that it's their issue, it's not mine? One more thing I want to say, and this is going to sound wacky to a lot of you, but I'm going to say it because I keep observing it, and I've been observing it for years now, in light of what we were told about these in the first place, cell phones. I use my cell phone. It's an old one. I've never had what are those real popular expensive phones? I've never had one of those. Still don't really quite know how to operate one, but we were told that these things are you know, they push out radioactivity in order for you to use it, you know, and holding it to your head for long periods of time is not healthy. And yet we use these things. I use the speakerphone. I turn on the speakerphone myself. I don't put it up to my head as little as possible. What I'm saying is this: if I were challenged to put together a scientific experiment demonstrating what I'm seeing, I think I could do it. I think I am seeing and experiencing, through the way that people act and communicate, already levels of widespread brain damage or affect from so many people using cell phones, frying our brains. See, one of the reasons why I stopped this is because there's been more than once, back when I was working with my cell phone, where I'd be in the middle of something and I had to hold it, and I would literally, after a while, I'd feel the heat. I said, this is frying my brain. So, once again, I can see where a whole lot of people will think what I just said is nutty. But my thought is likely those are the folks that are suffering the most from the damage. I can't prove a thing I'm saying, but I'll make a prediction, unless it's already just too late, because everyone's brains are fried. But I predict that it will become an issue again, publicly, about the effects on brain activity and brain function because of radiation. One of the things I notice in conversation is, and it may not have anything to do with this, okay? So you folks that want to write in your comments and correct me, just stop, okay? Notice I'm talking about that motivation. Just want to correct me. I don't need your correctness. I need your love, okay? Don't come correct me telling me you love me when you know you don't, okay? Because I can tell. But just the way that conversations can seem really fragmented. It appears that many people's attention span is very short now. It really, I like to talk like this all the time, and so when I get out and meet people and start talking and stuff, I encounter this a lot. Oh, you're getting all heavy now. That's wow. Or they're just like, they get like, it's like it's too much to process. It could be a number of things. It may not be this, but I'm going on record saying that I suspect that we are suffering already from the effects of overusing these cell phones. And it ties in with my overall view of how things are going, which is, because we made the marketplace the way that we operate everything, the marketplace is the thing that is always being preserved at the expense of the folks who actually come to the marketplace and make it work. That's why I see politics and everything as so insane, is because here's the object and here are the people, and the focus is on the object and having the object and controlling the object, and yet the interface between the object and the people is what's important. But the only thing that the politicians and the leaders are focused on is this, and we're just, we're being left out like garbage. And surely at some point someone intelligent will say, okay, but maybe not. No, okay. I'm kind of repeating myself, ain't I?